We want a world without TB. To beat the TB epidemic, you need to be able to diagnose it faster so that you can start treatment faster. The treatment needs to be shorter and more effective against forms, drug-resistant forms, but you'll never eliminate TB without a better TB vaccine. We're currently working on 2 of those arms, with the vaccine and the drugs. Our work all depends on volunteers, and as long as the community is working with us, they'll continue volunteering. Worcester is a small semi-rural town, about 110 kilometers northwest of Cape Town. We estimate Worcester's TB incidence as being 1,400 cases per 100,000 population, which is incredibly high, and it always has been. Worcester in the early 1920s, 1930s was quoted as having one of the highest TB rates in the world. We like to say there isn't a family or a household in Worcester that hasn't been affected or isn't affected by TB in some way. All our staff are local people, and that's our strength. And for us it's very important to be in touch with our community and for the community to feel that they are part of our fight against TB. And that was probably the start of Wellcome Trust projects that we've done, the 2 projects. Our first project was a drama project touring the local high schools, talking about TB vaccine research and why you should take part and what your rights and responsibilities are if you do take part in research. And our second project, also Wellcome Trust funded, instead of only focusing on high school learners, we were taking the project into the streets. So we were trying to get to literally the man in the street.
I started this journey working on HIV/AIDS education through theatre. In those days we made a lot of mistakes. Our theatre was very sad, focused on abstinence, being faithful and condoms, and the implication was that if you got HIV, it was your own fault, and then you died. Of course it wasn't that simple. When I came to the Western Cape to work, my ideas of theatre had evolved. So with Karine Secursa, I wanted to achieve different things. To create theatre that achieved transformative optimism. That even though there are challenges, audiences would leave the performance with some hope of change. Comedy was key to my idea. I also didn't want people to blame themselves or each other for TB. TB, like HIV, is a disease of poverty, and far too many South Africans are poor. I wanted the theatre to be as beautiful to look at as possible. With Karine Secursa in 2013, we achieved this. Vividly painted flats had pop art images. The costuming was great. The audiences left the performance singing the songs. This tour was a landmark for me. When Michelle and Amber offered me the chance to do Beat TB, I jumped. We devised the script of Linky Salonga together with mother tongue actors and UCT drama students. We initially joked that it would be called TB the Musical because of my love for music. It became Linky Salonga, and this time the actors took on symbolic roles. 2 women played Linky's lungs, another her immune system. The TB bacteria was a gang. The immune system had to fight off lots of challenges, like poor nutrition, poor ventilation. But eventually Linky's immune system was critically weakened by smoking. Then there was a marriage ceremony where the TB bacteria were joined, united with the lungs. But thank goodness for Superdots, who saved the day, and Linky took her treatment and became healthy again. We performed everywhere. Easter festival, taxis, clinics, parks, streets, church halls. But my highlight was at a men's prison. The masked TB-positive inmates were secluded at the back of the hall. Opposing gangs were separated by the central aisle. The men fell out their seats laughing, recognizing the situations. My journey felt worthwhile because they got it. What a great team. What a journey. And what's next?
In 2014 het ek saam marathon gewerk met die TB-veldtocht en was nie goed ingelig wat is TB nie. Ek het van TB gehoor, maar mense praat nie eens oor TB nie. Ons moes na ons gemeenskap gaan en onderhoud vroeg, maar jy was angsbevrees hoe die mense gaan optree. TB die monster was nie 'n sukses nie, want ons het die boodskap op mense geforceer. Daar was een toneelstuk, Ubuntu, wat beteken menselijkheid. TB is 'n menslike siekte. Die verhouding tussen ons kliniek en ons gemeenskap is nie so goed nie, want die manier hoe hulle mense behandel, dat mense nie weer teruggaan nie. Al wat hulle soek is net hoop en ondersteuning. Deur TB en linkies longe het hulle geleer en verstaan wat TB is. Hulle ondersteun mekaar as 'n gemeenskap. Vra wat hulle aan ons vra, beantwoord ons met die kennis wat ons geleer het. En as ons nie kan nie, verwys ons hulle na SATVI. Elke optrede was magical. Mense het hulle geniet, geluister en die boodskap ingeneem. En dit het 'n goeie menslike verhouding gebou in gemeenskappe. Motivering en goeie leierskap het 'n goeie rol gespeel. Want jy het presies geweet wat jou missie was, om mense te leer en te laat verstaan oor die gevare, die simptome van TB. Ek het geleer uit die proses en my gemeenskap. Die terugvoering was uitstekend. As 'n gemeenskap saam kan ons TB oorwin. Na linkies se longe se besoek kan jy die verskil sien in my gemeenskap.
My storie het begin die dag toe my ma siek geraak het. Sy het 'n koolper long gehad. En op daardie stadium het ek niks uit aan TB afneem. So ek het vir my die verwagtinge geskep dan sy nie weer gaan huis toe kom nie en dat sy gaan doodgaan. En toe sy die dag huis toe kom te vra vir, nou wanneer gaan mama nou dood? Ek het gewag daarvoor. En sy sê vir my neergeneem. My immuunstelsel was te sterk geweest. Dus ek kom die TB nie kans gekry het op my long neem. En net die kool oorgelaat het. Dit is omdat ek gezonde kosse eet. En jy moet ook van vandag af gezonde kosse eet. Ek sê, ek mama, nee. Ek hou nie van gezonde kosse nie. Maar vandaag die dag af het ek begin groen te eet en nie gemorskos nie. Toe hoor ek van SATVI by Maritang en ek was gretig om te weet. Toe ek hoor van TB het ek geweet, ek gaan baie leer. En ek het geleer van die nagevolge van TB, die simptome. En dat dit nie 'n doodstraf is nie. Leef gezond en neem jou medikasie. En toe hoor ek ons gaan Worcester toe om in Worcester te gaan perform. En ek het gesê, ek gaan nie, die plek is 'n bietjie rof. Maar toe besef ek kan baie leer en ek kan baie benefit daaruit. En dit kan ek saam mee vat, terug na my gemeenskap toe en my familie. Toe kom Denise uit ons
op 'n teksie gaan perform. En my eerste antwoord was gewees, o nee, ek gaan nie. Die eerste teksie performance was baie moeilik geweest. Ons het baie teksie performance gedoen daai dag. By die een teksie performance het een man ons net een keer gegee. En hy het die teksie drywer gesê, jy stop die teksie. Ek gaan nie verder met die teksie ry, met die siek mense nie. My hoogtepunt van al daardie performances was die een man toe ons 'n conversation gehad het in die teksie performance oor jy moet jou vensters by die huis oopmaak en as jy in 'n teksie is, moet jy altyd die venster oop hê naby jou sodat ek iemand kan uitgaan. En hy man het net so gekyk en het half verval na die venster toe om die venster oop te maak van haar die teksie. Die volgende een het 'n bietjie beter gegaan. Daar het ek weer 'n bietjie moed gekry en meer confident geraak. Na die performance het mense vrae gevra en ons het hulle vrae beantwoord. Jong mense het net gekyk, geluister. Hulle het nie gepraat nie. Maar elke keer wanneer ons begin met 'n performance, dan sit hulle die musiek sagter in die teksie. Dit het vir my gewys hulle stel belang en hulle wil graag leer en weet waaroor gaan hierdie performance. En ek het die karakter gespeel as long nummer 1. Dit was my 'n groot uitdaging geweest. Vir my was dit die long is die hoofkarakter geweest. Want jou liggaam kan nie funksioneer sonder jou longe nie. En Ashley het die bakteria gespeel wat die longe geïnfect het. Die jong mense, die kinders en die groot mense, het vir my in my gemeenskap gesê, hallo long nummer 1, na die performance, hoe gaan dit met jou? En dan kan ek met trots terugkyk. En met trots vir hulle sê, dit gaan goed. Om terug te kyk waar ek gewees het en waar ek nou is, het ek baie gegroei en selfvertroue gekry en dit het guts gevat.
My storie het in April 2015 begin, toe ek die eerste keer met SATVI te doen gekry het. Ek het gedink dit was 'n dowwe idee. Hoe kon mothertongse mense die gesondheid aspek van TB reg oordra? Ons is mos nie medies opgelei nie en ons is net gewone mense. Die bymekaar kom van mothertongue en die UCT students vir linkie se longe was maar 'n skrikkerige ervaring. Want ons groep was onseker oor hoe dat hulle met die studente sou gel. Ek was so trots om te sien hoe hulle die challenge aanvaar het. Die hele week was 'n groot uitdaging, want ek wou sien en leer saam met die groep, maar wou ook seker maak dat almal happy en gemaklik is. In die daaglikse feedback sessies het ek meer en meer verseker geword dat hulle dit kon doen. En dit het my werk vergemaklik. Toe die tyd kom vir die eerste vertoning by die kliniek, was ek amper te moeg van kook om te gaan kyk. Maar ek sou myself geskop het as ek dit gemis het. Die mense se gesigte het opgehelder en ek het gesien hoe die mense daarna kom praat en vra oor TB en besef hoe belangrik dit is om seker te wees van ons feite. Die taxi opvoerings was vir my amazing. Die een vrou wil glad nie in die taxi klim toe sy sien iemand dra masker nie. Maar op die ou end het sy vir haarself gelag toe sy besef dat dit net 'n toneelstuk was. Ons grootste uitdaging was die kere toe ons in die woongebiede moes ingaan. Ons het bangmaakstories gehoor dat dit vol gangsters was wat met guns skiet en messe steek, maar dit het alles goed afgeloop. Die SATVI TB projek was 'n baie groot impak op my lewe. Ek het gegroei, geleer en uiteindelik verstaan wat en waaroor TB gaan. Want vir my was dit 'n vuil siekte wat net 'n sekere groep kry. Ek weet ook nou baie meer oor hoe om 'n gesonde leefstyl te lei.
Amber's story, how I came to research social issues related to TB. I was born in South Africa, but moved to the US as a small child, hence this funny accent. In 2004, I was 22. I just finished a degree in New York City and started working at a well-known private hospital. After a probation period with no healthcare coverage, the organization I worked for decided I could stay and set me up to have a health screening in order for me to be put on their health insurance. This included a TB time test, the kind where they prick your arm. I had all of the tests and was meant to come back to the offices to confirm the results 3 days later. In the meantime, my arm began to ache and the time test spot started growing. When I went in to have my follow-up appointment, the nurse looked at my arm and dropped her folder. She came back 5 minutes later with another nurse, a textbook, and a ruler. They measured the sore spot on my arm and left the room. In hushed tones, they conferred just outside the cubicle I was sitting, this time with a doctor, and then came and told me I had TB. I was sent home from work and told to contact everyone I was close to. To make a very long story short, I contacted my parents, who contacted my pediatrician, who informed me that because I was inoculated in South Africa, the reaction to the test should not worry me too much. However, I had to confirm this. In the end, it was established that I did not have active TB, but simply carry the TB microbe, just like 30% of the world's population. This incident changed my life. It made me realize a few things. First, the cost of confirming that I did not have TB came out of my pocket. In the following months, I worked 3 jobs to cover my health care. I learned that free primary health care was an important aspect of citizenship and decided to move back to South Africa where that was available to me. At the same time, this confirmed my interest in a career that supported a system that provided free and public health care. I've been working in the public healthcare sector ever since. Finally, it taught me about stigma and the dangers of believing that diseases were limited to certain populations. With an interest in TB that came out of this experience, I committed myself to working towards making everyone aware of TB. I am proud to collaborate with SATVI, Wellcome Trust, UCT, and Mother Tongue to engage with research on social aspects of TB. My own experiences have taught me that it is important to make everyone aware of TB, that everyone can get TB, but no one should ever be afraid of it.
I think when I submitted the first Wellcome Trust grant application, I had absolutely no idea how we would actually do what we'd said we would. I was a little bit wiser when we submitted the second proposal, but still not really sure what we were going to do. I was about to go on a magic carpet ride. These 2 projects have been such steep learning curves for me, so far from my comfort zone of conducting clinical trials and the dry, measured tones of academic writing. I have learned so much from my collaborators, Veronica and Amber, and from the actors involved in the projects, both Mother Tongue and the learners of Worcester Senior Secondary School. And my eyes have been opened to the enormous amount of knowledge you can get from well-conducted focus group discussions. Every time a performance of Clarina Secursa started with the opening song lines, I'd get goosebumps and teary eyes, pride at what we'd achieved and how far the actors had come. Linky Salonga went through many evolutionary phases and wasn't always what I'd envisaged. But the first time I saw it in its final version, when the opening song started, back came the goosebumps and tears, and I knew we'd got it right again. Listening to the other stories, especially those of the Mother Tongue members Marlene, Melanie, and Ashley, hearing what an impact the project has had in their lives and in their community, I know we achieved what we aimed to, and far more. I know Wellcome Trust's money was well spent. I also know how sad it is that the grant and its funding have come to an end, that we can't carry on performing, taking the message to more clinics, more farms, more communities. I wish we could find a more sustainable funding option.